Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about the presidential debate and whether or not I thought Donald Trump or Kamala Harris won the debate. So first thing is first, I think that we all can point out the obvious. The moderators were very biased. It was literally 1 versus 3. We all know that Donald Trump got fact-checked multiple times, and Kamala Harris, who lied repeatedly, did not get fact-checked not once. Watching the entire thing was very frustrating, but it's ABC, it's news, it's liberal, it's biased, and I think that's kind of the obvious point. For example, Kamala Harris continued to perpetuate the Charlottesville lie that Donald Trump was praising neo-Nazis and white supremacists when he said there are fine people on both sides. PolitiFact even had to come out years later and correct this and say this is actually missing a lot of context and he's not talking about the neo-Nazis and white supremacists. But the facts don't matter because Kamala Harris stood up there and said something that was not true about Donald Trump to make him look worse. And to make things even worse than what it already was, the moderators did not fact check. They didn't say, you know, Politico has come out and said this is not the case. You know that other people have come out and debunked this. You know this is missing context, Madam Vice President. The moderators were absolutely disgusting in that regard. But like I said before, it's ABC. It's literally a third arm of the Democrat Party. So what can we expect? Okay, that's me ranting about the moderators and Kamala Harris being dishonest. But now I want to talk about Trump. And this is something that you're not hearing too much from the conservative side. People are just crying about the moderators, but like I said, we knew they would be biased. So now I want to focus on Trump and the things I wish that he really could have done better. So first things first, in the very beginning of the debate, the moderators asked Kamala Harris, are Americans better off than they were 4 years ago? And she completely dodged the question. And Trump was then asked about his tariffs or whatever. And instead of going into that policy, he should have said, wait, I'm gonna get into my policy on tariffs. But first, I wanna give some of my time to Kamala Harris, who didn't answer the question. And she didn't answer the question because she knows that Americans are worse off under Biden than they were under me. That could have been an easy, strong point right from the jump. But Trump didn't see the opportunity. Okay, we really gotta talk about some of the traps that Donald Trump willingly walked into. One of the main ones was the crowd size one. This is obviously a trap. It's obviously meant to throw you off of your game. And when she said it about the crowd size and people, you know, they leave Trump rallies 10 minutes after he speaks, I already knew that it was designed to try to psych Trump out. And I was crossing my fingers like, please, 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 Trump, don't fall for it. Dodge it and attack her on her record or something. Don't fall for this setup. Unfortunately, Donald Trump kind of fell right into it and talks about the crowd sizes and rambles about something that in theory is not that important. We're talking about the economy, immigration, so many more important issues. This is a sidebar that's meant to distract you. So that's one thing that Trump definitely should have been better with when it comes to self-control. Another big thing I really think Donald Trump fumbled with was the abortion stuff. You know, he said that the governor of Virginia, or the former governor of Virginia, said that you put the baby to the side after 9 months and then you decide what to do with it. Now that is something he actually did say, but this is a Looney Tunes person. Not every single Democrat state has abortion after birth or killing the baby after it comes out of the woman. So this is something that is not going to really sit well with normal, ordinary people who are thinking, you know, that's not the policy in my state. And also he's trying to, or he should be trying to appear more moderate on abortion and kind of going crazy and saying Democrats want to kill babies even after 9 months. It's like, you're not really helping your case here, sir. So when it comes to abortion, I was really disappointed with his performance. Also the denying the election stuff. Why in God's name is Donald Trump still denying the election? It happened 4 years ago. It's done. It's over. Just say Biden won and you lost. You will not lose any votes for saying that. You actually appear to be more sane. And just constantly, saying, oh, it was rigged and stolen and this, that, and the other, that is not going to help his case. So I definitely believe whoever prepped him from this debate should be fired. Donald Trump said that, oh, I always fire people and Kamala doesn't. Well, in this case, you need to fire the people who prep you for this debate, buddy, because that was a mediocre performance, to put it nicely. Lastly, we're going to talk about the moment where Donald Trump should have won the debate. The moment that should have been his Tulsi Gabbard moment. The moment in the debate that should have been the debate blowout that goes viral on every single news station, and everyone's talking about, wow, Donald Trump obliterated Miss Kamala Harris. And that moment was when Kamala went after Trump for being a convicted felon and being a criminal and no one's above the law and all of this nonsense. After she was done speaking, Trump should have looked at her and said, you know what? I am a convicted felon. I am a criminal, and the justice system has gone against me. Just like you, as prosecutor, went after innocent black people, you were the prosecutor of black Americans, and you did them no justice. So just because someone is a quote-unquote convicted felon doesn't mean they're always guilty. And just because someone is a prosecutor or a police officer or a cop doesn't mean they're always innocent. That would have been an excellent kind of punch in the gut to Kamala, but once again, a missed opportunity from Donald Trump. And when she was whining about the Central Park Five, who, by the way, they confessed, and I know they were later exonerated, but at the time, Trump didn't know the ins and outs. He saw 5 people sexually abused a woman, and that's where he formed his judgment. But she talked about the Central Park Five trying to pretend like he's racist. That's when he should have punched back and said, what about Jamal Truelove? Your prosecutor's office sentenced a man who was innocent, an innocent black man, 7 years in prison for a crime he didn't commit. Say his name, Jamal Truelove. I thought your side thought that black lives are supposed to matter. Well, his black life didn't matter in your eyes, Kamala. Now did it? That is the fire that Donald Trump should have brought to the table. That should have been, like I said earlier, his Tulsi Gabbard moment, his knockout punch. And there is no way in God's green earth that that moment didn't happen. There's no way he didn't go after her because of her record. Because the reality is, a lot of black folks aren't really feeling Kamala. I mean, a lot are, don't get me wrong, but those of us who are in the inner cities, and especially people from like California who remember her as district attorney and, attorney general, they don't really like Kamala all that much. So Donald Trump having that very strong and aggressive and even animalistic attack on her record would have been something we'd be talking about for generations to come. But unfortunately, it did not happen. And as I said, I think this was a really big missed opportunity from Trump, because you constantly have Kamala throwing all these punches and calling him racist and a criminal, and he's not really attacking her the same way that she is. As the old saying goes, you gotta fight fire with fire. And when you debate these liberals, these clowns, these Democrats, that's the mentality that you have to have, because they stop at nothing. And we as Republicans or Trump supporters have to have the exact same mentality. So now that my rant is done, I don't think you guys will be surprised to know that even as a Trump supporter, I do not think that Trump won the debate. I think Kamala came out victorious. And like I said, the interruptions and the moderators being biased, we know this already. Why are Republicans crying about it? Trump agreed to the debate. He never should have done it, because we knew they would be biased. This is something we already know. The moderators didn't force him to deny the election. They didn't force him to talk about abortion in a crazy way. And they did not force him to not attack Kamala on her record. These are things that Trump had free reign to do or not do. And he didn't deliver the performance that a lot of people kind of expected. So with that being said, Kamala, she did her thing. She appeared as strong, and the abortion part where she talks about the woman and she can't get an abortion and how that's so devastating and horrific. That was a really kind of solemn and serious moment. You know, she's kind of pulling at women's heartstrings. So Kamala had a lot of strong one-liners. The 81 people fired you 4 years ago, that was a really good line. So I think Kamala won the debate. I hate to say it, but Donald Trump did lose this debate against Kamala Harris, and I'm hoping that he changes his mind and debates her again, because this is not something I am satisfied with. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Let me know what you think. Do you think I'm being too hard on Uncle Trump? And do you think maybe he did win? Do you think I'm missing something, or like I said, being a little bit too aggressive when it comes to Trump? Are my expectations too high? Or do you think that I am right and Kamala Harris did win and I got everything spot on? No matter what you think, I am open to all criticisms and opinions. Leave your comments down below, and as always, see you next time.